We have breaking news. Jiri Prochazka has vacated the light heavyweight championship of the world. This is a breaking story just happening right now. Jiri Prochazka at UFC 282 was supposed to defend the belt against Glover Teixeira, a rematch of their fight earlier in the year in Singapore. One of the best fights of the year, absolutely incredible. Can't wait for the rematch. Well, it's not happening. Jiri has suffered a very, very serious injury and he's out of the fight. And as a consequence of that, he has vacated the belt so that the division can keep moving along. I mean, what a guy Jiri Prochazka is. But let's take a look at the details before I give you my thoughts. So here we are, report Jiri Prochazka out of UFC 282. You can't see, but it says vacates the title. Magomed Ankalaev versus Jan Blachowicz is going to be the new main event. So let's dig deeper into the details. So this is by MMA Fighting, always a very reputable source of information. It says Jiri Prochazka is rematched with Jiri Prochazka's rematch with Glover Teixeira will not take place at UFC 282 after Prochazka suffered a serious injury, according to a report from Yahoo Sports. As a result of the scratch, Prochazka has vacated the light heavyweight title, according to the report, and the UFC has promoted the light heavyweight fight between ex-champ Jan Blachowicz and Magomed Ankalaev to be the new main event on the 10th of December pay-per-view. MMA Fighting was not immediately able to reach Prochazka, Teixeira or the UFC for comment on the shake-up. Details on Prochazka's injury were not readily available. The reportedly former light heavyweight champ was set to make his first title defense in a rematch of the fight of the year. Yeah, we know this, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I mean, not too many details other than just the cold, hard facts. I just spoke to Jiri Prochazka. He was on the Believe You Me podcast. He was in good spirits. He's training hard. He's pushing himself to the limit, you know. But the problem is with mixed martial arts, when you are training hard, when you are pushing yourself to the limit, when you're sparring, you're doing jiu-jitsu, you're doing wrestling, that is one of the hardest parts. The wrestling is a nightmare. You always get injured. All my injuries came from wrestling. When you're doing it all, you're doing it at a high level and you're doing it with intensity, because you have to do it with intensity. If you're not doing it intensely, you're not training the way that you're going to fight. But when you do that, you run the risk of getting injured. So that is what's happened. Jiri Prochazka has suffered a training injury. He's out of the fight. He cannot continue. Number one, I'm devastated for Jiri Prochazka. I'm devastated for everyone that bought tickets. I'm devastated for Glover Teixeira. Glover Teixeira, of course, was coming back to this one, wanted to get his belt back. Jiri Prochazka, being the honourable man that he is, being the true samurai, wants the division to continue moving along. That is what it sounds like so far. He has vacated the belt. I don't know if anyone has ever done that in such a fashion so that the division can continue moving. Now, granted, for Jiri Prochazka, if that is the case, if I'm correct, because as I say, I only know what I've read online so far, nothing from the UFC, no official stances, but this is being reported by Yahoo, by MMA Fighting, all the reputable sources. If he has vacated for that reason, when he is ready to come back, one would assume he gets an immediate title fight. Now, Glover Teixeira should be in the mix, of course, but it sounds like Glover Teixeira didn't want to accept a fight with a different opponent so close. Glover is close to hanging up his gloves, one would think. You know, he's no spring chicken. I think he's 43, and he's trained for Jiri Prochazka. They probably offered Jan Blachowicz or Magomed Ankalaev, and I don't know. I'm assuming that he said no. He said no. So therefore, Jan Blachowicz, former champ, Magomed Ankalaev, they are now fighting for the belt. That is the new main event. I mean, I can't believe this. It's crazy. The world of mixed martial arts never stops, never ceases to amaze me. There's always these crazy storylines, but this is a shock. As I say, I just spoke to Jiri Prochazka in great spirits, pushing himself to the limit, been in Las Vegas for a few weeks now. But as I say, the training, fighting in mixed martial arts is hard, okay? And I've got a lot of injuries. But the training is actually harder. You know, you go out there for a fight, you have 15 minutes, or maybe 25, whatever it is, you know, and you do some damage. And yes, granted, you might get a broken nose and, all right, I lost an eye. You know, but all my other injuries, they happen in the training camps because it's not 15 or 25 minutes. It's every day. twice a day with multiple partners, pushing yourself to the limit, pushing yourself to the absolute breaking point, because it's only when you go through those kind of barriers that do you get better, do you get fitter, do you get stronger mentally and physically, you know? So that's the hard part about this sport. Number one, I hope the injury isn't too serious. I mean, I don't know what it is. For him to do this, sounds like it's going to have to be something that's going to keep him out on the sidelines for a while. Something like, and I don't even want to say it, like an ACL tear, a PCL tear, maybe an issue with his neck, you know. I don't think it's going to be a broken nose or anything like that, you know, a big laceration, a cut on the face. If it's something like that, you know, yes, he would be out of the fight, but he could come back relatively quickly. So I don't see a need to vacate the belt. But this is shocking. Number one, you know, Jiri Prochazka, my thoughts are with him. You know, get well soon, champ. He's a true warrior. I have nothing but respect for this man. The way that he fights, the honor that he brings to the octagon, and he calls himself a samurai, and he kind of is, and this just absolutely proves it, you know. But I just hope that he's okay. Magomed Ankalaev, Jan Blachowicz, you know, this is a, you know, it's a great opportunity for them. You know, Jan Blachowicz and Magomed, that's going to be a really, really tough fight. I don't know who wins that one. I mean, it's a crazy situation, that's for damn sure. But, you know, the immediate thoughts have got to be with Jiri Prochazka. Jiri Prochazka, I hope he is well. I don't think he's well at all. He's just given up his light heavyweight championship, and he's probably going to need some form of surgery. It sounds like this is a big one. Man, mixed martial arts. So now the new main event, Jan Blachowicz versus Magomed Ankalaev. That means, I think, Paddy the Baddy Pimblett versus oh my God, Jared Gordon. Paddy versus Jared Gordon. Does he move up to co-main event now? You know, that would be a big opportunity for both of those guys. But yeah, Jiri Prochazka, man, the poor guy. Let's just take a quick look and see if we can find anything else about this situation, because it is wild right now. Okay, so Jiri Prochazka. I don't type very well, as you've probably seen. News, let's put him in and see what it comes up with. Says here, yeah, Ankalaev title. Let's look on Yahoo Sports. Yahoo Sports are very good as well. Very, very reputable here. But, so, let's see. Hold on. Slid over there. Pardon me. Let's have a little look. Kevin Ioli, one of the best in the business, he says. Blah, 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 blah. It's a developing story. Light heavyweight champ has suffered a significant injury, forced him to not only pull out of UFC 282, but to vacate his belt. Teixeira declined an opportunity to fight someone else for the title. So the UFC has made Jan Blachowicz, Magomed, as the new main event. Yeah, so nothing new there. Apologies, just wasted a minute of your life there. But wow, wow. Mixed martial arts, man. It's crazy. The world of the UFC and mixed martial arts never stops, never fails to give you surprises. Best wishes, best thoughts, speedy recovery to the champ. All the best to Jan Blachowicz and Magomed Ankalaev. Huge opportunity for them. Of course, they don't want to get a title fight under these circumstances. You know, yes, it is a nice bonus, I guess, in some ways for them, but they don't. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants to see the champion vacate the belt because of an injury. They want to beat the champ. To become the man, you have to beat the man. So, I'm in shock. This just broke right now. What do you think of this situation? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe, ring the bell. Wow. Talk to you soon.